Hey Google, restart video.
Sure, doing that on Guest Bedroom Roku. Actually, the Guest Bedroom Roku doesn't support that functionality.
Hey Google, play Harold Sullivan 78 Scooby-Doo intro video on YouTube. I was doing it again.
Sure, Harold Sullivan 78 Scooby-Doo video intro.
Hey Google,
on
play
YouTube.
audiobook.
Got it. Reading Quantum Psychology on Google Play Books. I'll go back to where you stopped last time.
Hey Google, observers, play Harold Sullivan 78 Scooby-Doo intro video on YouTube.
Playing Harold Sullivan 78 Scooby-Doo intro videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Hey everyone, Scott Innes, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Scrappy-Dappy-Doo, Puppy Power, Blank and Shaggy too. Hey, you got the Sullivan Project podcast coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. Hey Google, set your volume to 50%. Hey, what's up everyone? This is Harold Sullivan. Welcome to the Sullivan Project podcast. Hey Google, set your volume to 50%. It's being weird here again. Hey Google, cancel.
Okay, stopping Guest Bedroom Roku.
TV's not even on. Hey Google, turn Google's volume to 50%. Okay, well, yeah. Anyways, we had this problem last time, and you know what? As soon as I turned off the camera, it was working fine. So it's hooked to the Roku, and now it's trying to play stuff over there. It has never done this before. And I guess instead of pausing it and trying to play it afterwards, now I got to just play it when I have the stuff working, and it's weird. It's glitching. I got to go back to audiobook, play that, and then it's like, it's I don't know, or have someone unconnect everything and reconnect it. So, which I'm blind. If y'all haven't tuned in before, I lost my sight over 3 years ago because of autoimmune diseases and complications. I was born disabled, and I've been in a wheelchair since I was around 9, 10 years old. But everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover, and that's what this podcast is about. We'll get this figured out here. A couple of years I've been doing a podcast, never had this problem. But I've been having weird things, energies around lately, and you know, so maybe something was affecting something. So we'll do that. I'll somehow get that figured out to play it at the beginning. But anyway, hope y'all are being the light. You know, that's what I tell people, because there's enough dark in the world. You don't want to be in the dark. And if you want to check out previous episodes of the Sullivan Project podcast, please subscribe or add or like or whatever, friend. YouTube, TikTok, it's Harold Sullivan 78 on both. And then Facebook is Harold Sullivan _35. And you can email HS, like the initials, and then 1978, 2015, all numbers 19782015 at outlook.com. You can even call, leave a message. I might answer 724-513-1472. If you want to be on the show, audio or video, or just got some stuff you want to say, or you want to comment, or just give me ideas for any of the brackets. I've been doing a lot of movie brackets, TV brackets. This is the podcast for everyone about everything. So we talk about metaphysical, supernatural, spiritual, paranormal, and then, you know, movies, TV, art, entertainment, food, life, just whatever. I just try to think of stuff for everyone, you know. I've listened to several hundred audiobooks. I'm on my 15th time through the Bible now, the audio Bible, when listening for about a little over 3 years. And so I'm just doing what I can. This is like the place for a lot of information for everyone to come. So, and I appreciate y'all. We're going to talk about some TV shows today. Firefly and the movie Serenity. And I just didn't know what that was. And it's just impacted me a lot. It may be the best TV show that only had one season. I don't know how many only had one season. But I'm trying to check out different things like that that I never did, you know, before. I never was interested in. So I can bring you all the reviews. And I just listen now because my site's gone. But it's a good movie or TV show if you can just listen and understand it. It's good. You know what I mean? Because without looking at it, how good is the movie, right? Uh, I just got done with quantum physics. I'm doing a couple more. I got a couple more audiobooks on quantum physics, and I've done a couple time travel episodes. If y'all want to check out those, and I'm going to do another like a third time travel part, another third part to a time travel. Once I get these other books listened to, and I mentioned before, some of the best movies, TV, some of the best books on time travel, and then but I got this quantum quiz, quantum physics for beginners, I think it's called. It's only about 3 hours or so. So I just got done with that. And I got another one I'm listening to, philosophy, quantum physics philosophy, something like that. It's about 7 or 8 hours. It's interesting. They tell you can actually, okay, The Power of the Spoken Word is another book I've listened to. And in the Bible, God creates just by speaking, which seems like, oh, that's impossible. But you know what? They've proven that just words and positivity can actually affect things. And they've done it with water and plants, where they've taken pictures of ice, okay, water, whenever it was talked to a certain way and played certain music to. And they proved that the crystals form differently in the water that's positive than the water that's negative. This is true. Same with plants. They grow healthier if you talk to them and you nurture them and you play pleasant music. The other ones seem to die faster. So that right there proves that just speaking words and your different intentions and energy actually has a real impact, period, that can be actually seen. Usually it's on an energetic. We're all energies, vibrations, frequencies, everything. It speeds at different waves, at different speeds, variations. So that's why you don't just fall through things. Okay, we can touch. You can touch something because it's at a different rate than you are. If it was at the same, you'd probably fall through it. Just like spirits and things like that are on different rates. They don't actually have a physical where you can solidly touch because their molecule, whatever, everything is quanta is at a different rate. It's spinning at a different rate. Think about that. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, quantum physics for beginners.
Hey Google, delete the first one. It's a little loud, but
done. It's forgotten.
I can't turn it down right now. Well, maybe I can. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me.
We'll do it this
First,
way.
Godfather Juice Pete Rose.
Hey Google,
Second,
stop.
Dark Side.
Oh, Pete Rose just passed away. Jesus. Should be Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? I know he's been on baseball. I think he's 84, they said. But this is sad. Jesus, Lord. He was like the all-time hits and maybe steals too. And they banned him and never just would let him back. And never let him in the Hall of Fame. And things have happened. I'm not saying that one thing has been worse than another. But before he died, that was the only thing he wanted. He came clean. He said he bet on baseball after he denied it for years. He didn't bet on his stuff, though. And he didn't influence stuff. He just bet on baseball. But that was a bad thing, and he weren't allowed to do that. So he just passed away. I finally got the Godfather movie. I got 1 and 2. And then 3 is coming up. I'm going to try to record on TV. There's a new version called Coda, Godfather Coda, which is, I guess they edited back in parts that they originally took out of 3. So, but I've heard that 1 was best, and 2 was pretty good. But so far, I'm about halfway through the second one, and I'm just the first one though is great, iconic. I mean, just everything. And I had to listen to the audio book first, 18 hours, and then not all at once, of course. And then the making of the Godfather movie is called "Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli," and it's 15 hours. So then I got the Godfather movie, which is almost 3 hours. And then part 2 is actually 3.5. It's longer. It's almost 3.5. So great movie. I'll give the Godfather probably 8. And that's high for me. I don't know if I ever rated anything higher than that as far as that goes, but 8, I mean, that's pretty dang good. And just Marlon Brando, of course. He wasn't in it that long, though. I mean, he was, probably in it for 15, 20 minutes the whole time. But the whole cast is all stars. It wasn't at the time. Al Pacino and all them guys, they weren't stars. So it's just amazing. check out other episodes if you want to hear more about the Godfather. But I give it an 8. And then Juice. This is my first Tupac movie. Uh, I kind of remember bits and pieces from before, so maybe somebody had it on TV when I was young. But Tupac, of course, blew it away. The movie itself, I wasn't really, wasn't Omar Epps was in it. Queen Latifah, I knew her when I heard her right away. And of course, I knew Tupac when I heard him. And he just was a dude that just kind of went nuts. The hood got him, and I don't want to ruin it, but that was the best part of it, basically. And I wish he had got to do more. God bless Tupac, R.I.P. Thug life lives on, in the life of the young. You know what I mean? Those were some lyrics I was reading. Lost a finger and a lung. Thug life lives on in the young, right? So Tupac and Juice, The Godfather. The Juice I'd probably give about 7 out of 10. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Godfather Juice Pete Rose.
Hey Google, delete the first one.
Done. It's forgotten.
Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Dark Side of Reality TV Demon Night Alaska's Mysterious Triangle Shawshank Redemption.
Hey Google, stop. Okay, we got some more books here. Shawshank Redemption. This is actually my first Stephen King, and I have
Nothing's playing right now.
I have 4 or 5. And yeah, this goofy technology. My God, it's going to take over one day. I think the AI is just plain dumb right now, because they say it's going to take over one day. But Shawshank Redemption, yeah, it's a shorter book. It's in Changing Seasons, or Different Seasons. I think it's called Different Seasons. It's like 4 or 5 short stories by Stephen King, but they're still 4 or 5 hours, as where his regular books are like 15, 20. So that's why I haven't delved into them yet. I got The Shining and a couple of the other ones, of course. But yeah, Shawshank Redemption, great book. I mean, I can see why Stephen King, and he puts you right in there, like his writing. The characters, it was pretty much exactly like the movie, except for a few different parts, which spoilers. The main dude, Morgan Freeman, the dude sounds like him just reading the audio book too. And you can get these all my books in audio, all the books I listen to, you can get them in audio and print version. All the reviews I do. And you can't get every book in audio, but they're doing more and more, and I appreciate it. I like when celebrities do their own, like The Situation read his, and then Steve, oh man, Stephen A. Smith did his, the voice. So it makes it more, but Shawshank it makes it more, emotional. But Shawshank Redemption, yeah. So Red, the main guy, I believe in the book he was a white guy because he talks about having long red hair when he's younger. So they just changed that in the movie and just called the dude Red. I don't know. And then also the old guy who escapes or who gets out. He don't escape, but he gets out after he's been there forever. Can't handle it, and he commits suicide in the movie. But in the book, he doesn't. They just say he dies like in an old folks home. And then what else? There's a couple other differences. At the end, Andy and Morgan Freeman's character don't meet up. Okay, that happens in the movie, but in the book it doesn't. They actually meet face to face. I believe they actually, like, you know. But yeah, that doesn't happen in the book. What else was there? There was Red. There was the death. There was a couple of things I think they actually combined together in the book, and then in the movie they're a little bit different, or they combined them in the movie. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And then I got one on Alaska's Mysterious Triangle, which is basically like the Bermuda Triangle. There's like 5 or 6 spots over the whole planet that are like that. And this one's even kookier. And he has another book about walking with shadows, about shadow people that I haven't got to yet, but I'm going to. And they have everything in Alaska from the boats and the ship, planes disappearing, to ape man, to shadow people, like I said, ghosts, apparitions, vortexes especially. There's scientifically proven vortexes there, and that's when they think these things go out and come out another time, or in the past or future, whatever. And there's a boat. Oh man, Sophia actually was the name, I think. They had like 400 people that disappeared, never found them. Then there was a ghost ship for like 60 years that was just floating around out there. People would board it, and everybody would get scared, and they'd just leave the boat and leave it there. And it hasn't been seen for a while. And then, like I said, there's a hotel there that's haunted. They say that people just jump out. One person jumped out, killed himself, or got really hurt. And there's actually a town that disappeared. It reminds me of not Mystery, but 30 Days of Night. Mystery Alaska was a hockey movie, which is very good too, but with Russell Crowe. But but yeah, 30 Days of Night. So in this rural town in Alaska, one day this whole town disappeared. Someone found that there was food cooking and stuff, and all the graves have been robbed. So there was nobody in it, alive or dead, and they still don't know what happened. It was just abandoned. That's just creepy, you know. So we got that, and then Demon Night. I want to mention we just did a Stump the Stringer recently in an episode, and I had forgotten one of the questions I was going to ask him because we had recorded a podcast part before that, and the recorder was dead. I didn't know the audio recorder because I can't see it, and so we already did it, and I deleted the questions, and then I couldn't remember one of the questions. So it was Demon Night. So for all of you who want to play a little bit of trivia, Stump the Stringer, who was the lead actress in Demon Night? And then it was Will Smith's wife, ex-wife, whatever you want to call her, Jada Pinkett, who actually went out with Tupac for a little bit, and they were good friends, you know, they were, and they still are even in Tupac's death, I'm sure, but because energy is not created or destroyed, right? It can be just transformed to another shape. So, but yeah, so Jada Pinkett was in that. It was a Tales from the Crypt movie, which they did a TV show for a few years. I recommend that, of course. And we actually had John Cassier do a trailer, the Crypt Keeper's voice, because the Crypt Keeper was like an old puppet skeleton thing in the TV show and the movie, and he would just narrate tales, spooky tales, and it actually started off as like a graphic comic novel back in like, I'm not sure, way before I was born in '78, I think, maybe in the '80s, '70s, I don't know. It was a long time ago though. But yeah, Tales from the Crypt Demon Night, she was the lead, and then in this bonus for a second part, there was the second movie was called Tales from the Crypt Bordello of Blood. It was about vampires, and Steve, is it Miller? Oh man, Miller. I can't remember his first name. The guy who did Monday Night Football for like 1 year, Dennis Miller, and then he was on HBO for a while. He's got that dry humor, but he's funny. But anyway, yeah, he's in the whorehouse with these vampires, and it's called Bordello of Blood, and he's just cracking these one-liners. But that's the second Tales from the Crypt. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Dark Side of Reality TV Demon Night Alaska's Mysterious Triangle Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Second, Firefly Jane
Hey
the
Google,
prequel
delete the
medical.
first one.
Done. It's
Okay,
forgotten.
Dark Side of Reality TV is on. It's a show. They've done the Dark Side of Wrestling, then they're doing the 90s. I'm not sure if they did 80s or 2000s or whatever yet. They're doing I think they're doing a music one too, maybe Dark Side of some kind of music. But this one is on the fourth episode now. It's pretty good. The first episode was about The Swan, which was a TV show where women did construction on their body. I think it only lasted a season or two because it was just horrific. I mean, it was kind of a bad idea, or maybe it was just a bad way they did it. Second one was the Kid Nation. You know, I've probably never heard of either or any of these, but I vaguely have. And I've been watching reality, checking reality shows out since they first came out. So, and it was about a bunch of kids, like 40 kids. They just put in this old abandoned town and filmed them and let them pretty much be cold and dirty and not wash stuff. I mean, it was bad. And then the third one was Joe Millionaire, which was a more recent one, which they did a reboot to, I think, a couple years ago. But it was basically all these women thought this guy was a millionaire, and they were lied to. And the winner was going to be, of course, get to be with him. But, any relationship on lies doesn't work, first of all. And he had to feel bad about lying to them. And you know what I mean? And so, but at the end, the twist, spoiler, they actually gave him and the woman, whoever he picked, $1 million to split. Okay, and I forget who he picked because, Yeah, but it wasn't even very interesting. It was like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette with $1 million guy, and the couple didn't even end up together. I don't even think they talked after the show. So we're doing that. Now we're going to get to the second half of the season of Firefly and in the movie Serenity because I reviewed the first half of Firefly in a recent podcast. Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube and TikTok. Harold Sullivan period 35. Sorry, Harold Sullivan period 35 Facebook. That's the number 35 after a dot. Okay. So we got, hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Firefly Jane de prequel medical kidnap.
Hey Google,
Second,
stop. Okay, so we got Jane Day. Now there's a dude on the show named Jane Day.
Nothing's playing right now.
Day. Jane, his name is, and so they go. The crew of this ship. Basically, the way I could describe this is, it was first of all, it's the dude who wrote and directed Buffy the show, and the Avengers, of course. Joss Whedon. He's very good. I think it's Joss. It's Joss. He's good at characters. He's good at development. I really liked where he was going, so I don't know why they quit the first season. They did one season and a movie a couple of years later. 2002 was a show, 2005 a movie. Okay, and then the girl who was in the Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I reviewed recently, was actually on this ship in the movie and the TV show. So they got the whole crew back together for the movie pretty much, which I'm sure was hard to do a couple of years later. But I don't know why they canceled it. But yeah, Nathan Fillion is like the captain, and he plays Malcolm Reynolds. And then they actually have a preacher, they have a legal prostitute, they have a doctor who is the brother of this girl who's like crazy, but she's really smart. Summer Glau is her name, and she plays the Terminator in the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. So she plays them kind of characters. But in one of the episodes, they find the doctor and that girl, and they kind of save them, and they become crew members. And they got a couple other crew members. And then it has its own theme song. It's kind of like in space, and it's well, it is in space, but it's like Old West guns and lasers, and then they have cattle and trains. So it's like the past and the future put together, kind of. And basically, Earth was done, so they went to space. People went to space and terraformed other planets and made other Earths. And then so it's a whole new thing out there. And there's the Alliance, which is basically the law now, but they only go after big things. And so it's pretty much people run their own stuff. So these guys are just scavengers on this ship called Serenity. It's a Firefly class ship. So anyway, they go to this one planet where they talk about this hero, and here it's one of the crew members named Jane, who had just left a bunch of money. There was they found a statue of its money, and here he had just left a bunch of money there years earlier, and just they all like started making this gospel after him. So I'm going to leave it at that. And then, because I don't want to ruin it. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Firefly Jane de prequel medical kidnap.
Hey Google,
Second,
stop. There's a prequel kind of episode where they
nothing's playing right now.
Jesus, I'm telling it to stop, and it's like where they get the ship from, and I guess it's in like a junkyard or whatever. And it kind of reminds me of how Han Solo would be talking about the Millennium Falcon. Also, grab what's her name? Oh man, I can't remember now. I keep forgetting her name. Rosario Dawson is in it too. She's like his first mate, kind of. And she was in Clerks and Men in Black 2, Clerks 2 and Men in Black 2, and Zombieland 2, and a bunch of other movies, in case y'all don't know. But she seems to like them sequels. But so it was a great cast. Like I said, I don't understand. Everybody's lovable in this, no matter what. They all have different personalities. But it's like when they first find the ship, and then later on there's a kidnap. I think it's the captain who one of them gets kidnapped, and something happens, and of course they always just they're not going to leave a man behind. You know what I mean? They do what they can to save her, and no matter what, they seem to get out. I mean, they bar fight. Like I said, it's funny, and they got all kinds of moments there. The prostitute is kind of almost like a therapist or something. She reminds me of on Star Trek, The Next Generation, the counselor, because she talks. She's very good. A lot of what she does is she talks to people. She just, I guess she's trying to make them feel comfortable and friendly and that. But they do have sex on the show. Like, it's not real like explicit, but there is sexual stuff. Uh, hey Google, what did I want you to remember? Gotta let you know.
Here's what you told me. First, Firefly Jane the prequel medical kidnap.
Hey Google,
Second,
delete the first one.
Done. It's
Oh
forgotten.
yeah, right before the kidnap, there's one where they go in on this planet to steal medical supplies to take to this other planet because the sick people don't have it, you see. And then these lions and these rich people just have stuff, just warehouses, so they go steal the stuff and they go so they can sell it for like way more, 10, 15 times more. So like I said, they do different jobs. They got a job, you'll do it. They really don't care what it is. And that's what Nathan Fillion says. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
I remember you told me. Firefly
Hey
artifact
Google,
dead man.
what did I want you to remember?
I remember you told me.
Okay.
Firefly artifact dead man prostitute planet Serenity.
Hey Google, stop. Okay, so there's
Nothing's playing right now.
a dead man where basically they receive a package on this one planet where they have a mail thing set up. And it's a dead, one of their buddies they were in the war with. And he's dead. So that's kind of weird. Artifact is another one where they were going to steal an artifact, I think. I remember. I've been doing so many books and episodes and stuff, you know. But yeah, there's an artifact that's really old or valuable or rare, and they get that and they get some kind of crap over that, of course. Hey, Google, what did I want you to remember?
I remember you told me. Firefly artifact dead man prostitute planet Serenity.
Hey, Google, delete that.
Done. It's forgotten.
Hey, Google, what did I want you to remember?
My last memory?
Hey,
I
Google,
was chatting
stop.
with you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's working. It's my last memory. Yeah, these things got memories. Jesus. But yeah, then the last episode is like on the prostitute's planet. One of her friends calls, needs help, and because this guy's crazy and he wants the baby. She gets pregnant. One of the prostitutes does, and so they kind of go there to try to help the crew make sure this doesn't happen. And then the movie. Okay, now I'm going to give the TV show an 8 right off the top. It's probably one of the highest for 8. Maybe I could do it higher, but. And then the movie, I'm not going to give it nowhere near as much. If you've never seen the show, then it'd be good, you know. The music wasn't the same, of course. They didn't put any. Speaking of that, the music in The Godfather is good, both, but they keep playing the music too much in the second one, especially. And then what is all these crying babies in the Godfather? I mean, again, the second one, they did it too much. It's like they didn't realize why things were good in the first one. They just put them in the second one. And I can't really follow the second one. Like I said, I'm halfway through The Godfather. But the book ends with Michael taking over. And the book actually has the young Don Vito and the older Don Vito. So it goes back and forth. The movies are different a little bit. But yeah, the Serenity basically picks up. It's called Serenity the movie. The show was Firefly. I'm going to give the movie only 7 out of 10. That's still pretty high for me. But it's the same cast pretty much. There's except for the preacher's only in it for a little bit, and so is the prostitute lady. But they kind of pick up the same story and finish a couple things. And but the music's not in there, the theme song's not in there, the bar fights and sex is not in there. Pretty much a lot of the stuff that made the movie good or the TV show good is not in there. And I don't get why they didn't do that. You know, and they kill one of the cast members. Spoiler, which they could probably explain that later if they want to come back and do more, which I would love them to do. I don't know what happened. Like I said, it was magical the first season. The movie, nah. But it was still decent because the characters, they still gelled together a little bit. And then you had basically the story with the girl, the smart girl, and her brother who's a doctor, and then they just continue the stuff in space. But I'm only going to give that 7. But I recommend them both. Like I said, all these books too that I talk about, I recommend them. But like we like to say, love is a choice and so is the hate. I just saw a little flash of light right before that in case anybody catches anything on the camera, let me know. Since I lost my sight, I've been starting to see colors and little bright orbs or whatever, and fireflies. Is actually firefly, yeah. I used to call them lightning bugs or fireflies. So maybe we got one just there. But I'm gonna be back. Love is your choice, and so is the hate. We actually just had a ghost hunter on, so go check that out. The celebrity episode cameo. Adam Berry, and I just got done with his audiobook recently. It's called Goodbye Hello, I believe, or Hello Goodbye. I think it's Goodbye Hello about ghosts. And he reads it too, so go check that out. But love is your choice, and so is the hate. We'll be back.